Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Tuesday night. We coming live Tuesday night, folks, because Sunday is Christmas Eve.
Goddamn.
I know E got to open some presents.
Yes,
Jonah
sir.
got to open some presents with his little ones. And, you know, all my babies will be home. So we like to say Merry Christmas from the Keep It 100 crew. Merry Christmas, fellas.
Merry Christmas.
Got their cups up on the table.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Big
Nice
shout out from Shonda. Taking care of us on the cups.
Thanks, Shonda.
Yes. But like I said, we back live. We have a special guest today. You can see him holding the mic. We had a little, they call it mic drop, and the mic never did drop. So
No, he tried to.
I tried to what?
I'll be good.
So, but Merry Christmas from the Keep 100 crew. The show should be up before Christmas. Like I said, hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll talk about a couple things. You know, we'll have a special guest from Texas, Coach Rob, with his 7-on-7 team. We'll talk about them. You know, team that Day played for, the outstanding receiver, defensive back that's hasn't committed yet. I mean, he's committed to TCU, but everybody is throwing cookies at him. So we're gonna like to see where he's gonna go here in the next few weeks. We'll talk about the transfer portal because everybody's in it.
Yep.
I mean,
I'm in it. I need a check. I'm leaving.
Jonah probably going over to that team out in Guthrie.
Yeah.
What did they say? We heard it on the what? On a podcast.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. So guys, give us our flowers, like Jonah and Ethan would say. Give us our flowers. Give us our shout out. We'll talk a little bit about the Zoe situation. Talk a little bit of high school basketball's kicked off. Colorado boys has lost 2 games this year. I know Coach Price is over there thinking, what's going on? That everybody coming back and lost some ball games. But, hey, it's good to lose early. Like my son, he wrestled up in the 44th Midwest Classic. Came home with second place. Back in the day, I'd have been yelling and screaming and cussing. But as I got old, my blood pressure gets high. I just say, hey, son, good job. It doesn't matter what happens in December. Right. It happens. All that matters what happens in February and March. So hopefully we can get that fixed, corrected. Like I said, we'll talk about a couple things. Probably won't be too long, but like I said, we'll have a special guest on, Coach Rob, 707 coach out of Texas. He'll talk about some of the things he's doing, and you guys are looking for some good training, a good workout guy for over the summer, going into the spring. Get with him. Merry Christmas, Big E.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jonah.
Merry Christmas.
I'm pretty sure I'll see you sometime this week. What's on the menu?
I think ribs and chicken.
Ribs and chicken. And people don't take that racial.
Hey, I could care less. I'm going to be full and sleepy.
I like having it at my house.
Right. Hey, but it's been at my house for the last
no, you've had it your last
12 years.
14, 15. But, you know, I like it at my house.
Because you don't have to drive and just go to sleep.
I go straight to sleep.
He scratches his head and starts shaking his knees, and he's out.
I'm out. See ya. But, guys, we're going to get the show started, Big E. We're going to let you get it jumping because I know your Sooners are getting ready to play.
Sooners.
You done with colleges for the semester, right?
Yep. Just finished up my first semester at OU.
That GPA?
The GPA, I think I'm sitting at 3.2.
I'll take it.
Around there, something like that.
Man,
A's and B's.
Yeah, and that's him doing Keep It 100 on the side and
Working
and going to OU full time. He still ain't found his sweetheart yet. So, ladies, he got his name on his cup. So, look him up. Hit him up on Keep It 100 YouTube or hit him up on.
Don't wait till it's too late.
Twitter, Instagram,
Snapchat. Hey, he can take pictures.
Snapchat.
Okay. Jonah, you got all your shopping done?
No, not yet. I got some big gifts to get, but other than that, pretty much.
You got mom taken care of?
Always.
Okay.
I just cash app her some money.
Cash app her, it's funny. Jonah likes to give her cash, and I always got to give her a church suit. So got that taken care of. Thought I did pretty good. Nice suit.
You did or Jessica did?
It's a little bit of teamwork.
No.
I love Christmas, guys. It's like my favorite time of the year. Yeah. But I tell you what I hate.
What's that?
Is that when people you say, "What do you want?" I don't know.
I'm that person. I'm that person because like my grandma.
What's the point of? Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
What's the point of telling?
But
go ahead.
You kind of want to know what they want a little bit.
I know. But my grandma, she's like, no, you got to have something to open on Christmas. But like, I never know what I want, so I'm like, if you want to give me something, just give me some cash or a gift card so I can go get what I want.
I don't like giving people cash to give cards. That's how my grandma
is.
It doesn't go towards them.
How's it not?
Because they're gonna go spend it on some dumb shit.
That's their choice.
I know, but I mean,
What if what you bought him is some dumb shit?
that's why you get that cash receipt.
Same difference.
But I'd rather you still like. I'm kind of like E's grandma.
He's open it up and get the reaction.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember one year.
Boo.
I mean, there's gonna be a reaction if I open up something and there's some cash. It's gonna be like,
Yeah.
yes.
See, I remember one year
You know?
when Olivia was probably like,
Honestly, if any cash I get, I'm pocketing it and put it in my savings so I can pay for school.
there you
But
go. See, that's keeping it 100.
That's-
I remember one year Olivia's probably about 5 or 6, and I bought her some shoes.
I think she was younger than that.
You remember that?
Yeah,
took
she threw the shoes.
She threw the shoes.
She wanted-
Wow.
She wanted a toy.
She wanted
but,
toys.
But
What am I gonna do with these shoes?
But my baby gotta look good. Your feet look good. You look good.
She don't
What
know
kind of
about
shoes
me.
were they? Like something like
Probably
heels?
Nikes back then.
Oh,
I don't
Nike.
know.
Oh, okay.
Nikes. We this is the only time of the year the kids know they get what they want.
What I get?
Same thing I got you last Christmas.
This is a bigger box.
This is a bigger box. We've been getting gifts years ago. When we got all these kids now. We can't.
For real.
But I mean, I like giving it. My granddaughter wanted something. Zoe, I still spoil Gabe just a little bit because he's still in school. Deshaun, him and his new boo's going up to the Ohio State game. So.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's
Good
in
for him.
Arlington, so I gave
His
him
new
some
boo.
Got him a little boo now.
Okay,
You look at me over
Deshaun.
Christmas. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Good girl, athletic, played college basketball.
Okay.
D1 babies?
She's a D1. She was a D1
Yes, sir.
girl. Then she came back and I think she went to OBU and OCU and Doo-Doo-Hoo and whoever else where she went.
God damn it.
But she's a good young lady, so got a chance to meet her a couple times. Like she said, she got some ball handling skills, so we'll find out. Maybe have her and Zoe play 1-on-1.
I think Zoe will take her.
I don't know. She was D1. Zoe's still NIA right now.
Yeah.
But like
She'll
I said,
get there.
we'll be getting into a lot of high school basketball the next couple weeks. The rankings, I like to rank the 28, 29 girls and boys. That's class Zoe's in and go up. And then talk about some games I've been to. I went to that Midwest City Dale City basketball game.
Close game.
Really good game. Lenny Hatchett don't have all the firepower that he had last year.
Where's Lenny at now?
He's still at Dale City, but I'm just saying, last year he had Garrison.
None of those football players play basketball?
Nah, LaDanon decided to opt out and just get bigger and stronger, get ready for college. So that hurts him a lot. You get LaDanon on the team. Coach Noel over at Midwest City has done a great job. He got a stud. He got that kid coming from Newcastle.
Yep.
He's already committed to Oklahoma State. Roy Henderson Jr. They got some players over there. Midwest City got some dudes. Only thing is both teams don't have any size. So I think that's going to hurt them. But they're in 5A. But right now, 5A that I've seen is pretty tough. Has been Crossing. Crossing is a really solid team. They got
That's
two
always
bigs.
like that.
Got two bigs. They got about 7 young men that can flat out shoot the ball like Steph Curry. So I think Crossing's going to be a deal. I don't know if you guys heard Jay Nix that was at Millwood. He took his talents across the street to Douglas.
Really?
Yes. So
wow.
He's at Douglas. He played at Millwood for football. Now he's gonna go over and play with Coach Alexander.
He's like, I'm out. Merry Christmas.
You don't know Coach Alexander. His son plays for Creighton. Outstanding basketball.
What a team they
player.
got this year. They've been playing some good ball.
Who's that?
Who's
Creighton?
that?
Creighton?
Yeah, they're pretty
What
good.
about
They're
OU?
good.
You think they're pretty good, or is
We'll
this
find out tomorrow.
We'll find
Who
out
they play
tomorrow.
tomorrow?
North Carolina.
I mean,
Thunder too? Thunder's balling.
Thunder's balling. I was kind of, I don't really watch the Thunder a lot, but I was kind of what happened at Gibby.
Giddy? Yeah.
Oh, about the little girl?
But I was like, man, they ain't been playing him that much. But I watched him last night. He can ball a little bit though.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big
I don't
Thunder
know.
fan. I mean, I cheer for him because they're Oklahoma.
He got a root for Bron.
Yeah, I got a root for my man Braun. Hey, congratulations to Braun and his team winning the what? The NCAA.
The in-season
NCAA.
boo-boo.
NCAA.
What is this
LeBron
new?
never- yeah, it's new.
Tournament.
LeBron's never, he's never been to a Final Four. That was his first Final Four because he went straight from high school to the NBA. So that gives him his chance to kind of do that. But
I may be in like the minority, and I don't like the in-season tournament.
that was something
I don't
different.
like
It's kind of weird because you had two teams that don't really have great records but made it to the tournament. So
It's all about matchups.
Yeah, it's
that's true,
matchup.
that's
Like
true.
they had the group play and everything. Thunder actually got a pretty tough draw in that. They had to play the Warriors. They had to play the Minnesota
What about the Warriors
Timberwolves.
though? What's wrong with them? They got a guy that's half psycho.
I think
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing. That's just his role. I mean,
So
when you get older, he has nothing else to contribute.
I think he might be worse than Dennis Rodman.
Right. So now when you're going for a
I
layup,
think he already is.
so when you're going up for a layup, you gotta look back behind your shoulder. They know what he's doing.
I mean,
That's
turn
just the
around and
muscle.
punch you.
Right.
I didn't mean to punch him.
Right.
He meant to punch him, didn't he?
Right.
I feel like he's fake tough though.
Yeah, he is fake tough. He doesn't pick on anybody else.
If you like caught him in the street and pressed him, he'd probably back down, tuck his
No,
tail
I
like
don't
a
think
puppy.
he'll do that. He's still got some street in him. I just think he knows who to pick on the court.
Yeah, the little
He
guy.
ain't gonna do that to
The dude
LeBron,
that
huh?
ain't gonna do nothing. It's either the little dude or the
I
tall,
think he'll
lanky
do it
dude.
LeBron because LeBron can't fight. He's not going to do it to, the dude from Memphis back in the day. What was his name? The center. Or, some cat in the 90s. He's not going to do
I
that.
don't know who you're talking about. I can't remember. Was it Birdman?
No,
You
not
talking about-
Birdman.
Birdman had too many tattoos.
He said too many.
Two tattoos.
No, Black Cat. I forgot his name. Anyway.
Oh, Zach Randolph.
Randolph. He's not going to do it to no
Yeah.
Randolph. He's not going to do it to, what's his name?
Well, Randolph been retired for a while.
Well, I'm just saying, a cat like that, he's not going to do that. No, he's not gonna.
Kendrick Perkins
Perkins.
Perk kind of, I like Perk on the NBA
on the talk show.
talk show.
He gets going. I mean, I get it. Like in that business, you got to say what's going to get ratings. So
Right.
And he always looks sweaty though. So maybe for Christmas,
He got high blood pressure, man.
we can send him a towel.
right. Send him a towel.
Keep it 100.
Keep it 100
He keeps a
towel.
towel.
100 towel. Well, folks, like I said, we're gonna get the show dropping, get it going. We're gonna let E get it going because like the transfer portal's hot. I know he's probably gonna start off with his boy Gabriel leaving Oklahoma. I really thought he would go to
The
Memphis.
story is
No,
that
I mean-
lineman leaving.
Yeah.
You talking
Caden
about
Green.
the green guy?
Yeah.
Missouri.
That's crazy.
I was talking to.
I
buddy.
followed that pretty closely. The
Oh,
story
you
behind
came and
that.
offered him the money. And
Yeah,
then he went
they
and got
matched
his-
it. They matched
they
it, yeah.
matched it. And they said he left practice,
Yeah.
packed all the stuff up and left. So why would he ask to match it?
I heard it was like there
Wait,
was
isn't
some
that where he's from?
miscommunication. No, he's originally from Oklahoma, but he moved like I think in high school to go play in Missouri because that high
that's
school
where
in
he's
Missouri.
from. He lived in Missouri.
He lived in Missouri.
Oh,
for,
well, yeah,
for
he's
high
gonna get
school.
more money in Missouri.
Yeah, but I heard that there was some miscommunication like along the lines of the NIL situation. Like OU was always going to match it, but I don't know, they had people telling Green's family of something else. So there's like miscommunication and some the story got twisted along the line. So but by that point, their decision had already been made to enter the portal. So he just went ahead and made the move to Missouri. Which I mean, a lot of his high school teammates are
going there.
They're going there.
Right.
So
that's one thing I don't like about it. You should wait to after the bowl game.
Right.
Or if you're already committed and you're starting, I'm like, you shouldn't be able to recruit after the fact.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're running twos and then you're not getting any run.
Yeah. My issue with it is that like there had to have been some tampering involved, whether whether it was a coach reaching out to him or a kid. Which I mean, if it was one of his high school teammates reaching out to him, there's no way to stop
high school
that.
Kid, I think it's when he's trying to recruit his high school teammate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure the high school teammate said, "No, man, they're offering me this, and this," and he's probably like, "What?"
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? That's like you getting recruited from Missouri, and I'm trying to get you at Oklahoma, and you're like, "No, man, we need to go over here. They're giving me 1 point whatever," and you kind of like, "Well, damn."
Yeah, you gotta go.
I'm going.
Yeah,
gotta go.
Yep. But nevertheless, I mean, he made his decision, and I think OU will find a way. I mean, there's going to be a guy that steps up and replaces him. But
they got the two dudes from Michigan State.
Yeah, they got the two guys from Michigan State.
The
other guy hasn't committed yet. He just has like a crystal ball in for OU.
They got the new lineman that runs a 12.
Yeah, the Eddie Pierre Lewis kid. I'm excited for him, man. Right. That kid is going to be pretty good.
He's already on campus.
Oh yeah, that's another thing we talk about. We got signing day tomorrow. Early signing day is tomorrow. A lot of kids. Some kids sign today. But
I thought you had to sign tomorrow after 7 a.m.
Well, they're like you can like put it on like a lot of people have like their ceremonies or whatever tomorrow, but they'll officially send in their.
They'll send it after
tomorrow. Yeah.
Truly, you don't even sign then when you sign.
No, you gotta wait 24 hours.
They gotta send you the
fax it.
They got. That's how OU ended up getting Peyton Bowen last year.
Yeah, that's what Gabe.
They signed. He actually signed his letter of intent to Oregon, but forgot to date it, so they had to fax him a new copy, and then by that point, Jackson Arnold, who was his high school teammate, had already convinced him to flip to OU. So then he signs his letter of intent, and he's at OU.
That's probably
good. That was a crazy story. Like that was very interesting last year, but yeah, signing day tomorrow. Congratulations to all the kids signing tomorrow. A lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears has gone into you getting to that next level in the classroom and on the field. So congratulations to everybody signing tomorrow or this next week. X-Rob. I heard that he was supposed to be on campus already, kind of getting some reps for bowl prep and everything. I don't know. I haven't seen any like practice footage of him there. I don't think he is, but I thought that was.
Coordinator, shout out to Carl Albert's coaching staff, drinking some of our beverages. So thank you guys for that. It's always good for me and my family. It helps keep the lights on in here.
Here, move your mic up a little bit, Tony.
My fault. I'm sorry. It helps builds the lights on in here. But one thing I did talk to Coach Herbert. He was talking about they went and watch practice the other day. So he saw David Stone and it's good to see those guys on campus, man. I really thought Miami might try to take it one more big jump to try to bring him to.
They did. His family. I work with his aunt, I think.
But I'm pretty sure you're taking care of him and the family. But like I said, it's good to see him to come back home. Young man that played at Dell City. Imagine if Coach Jones would have kept him.
Man,
that would help him a lot.
That could have been the difference in that.
That would have been a difference.
But I think he did go to IMG and helped him with a lot of things.
Definitely helped with his.
You remember you did
progression and everything.
His interview with him. He's a very well-spoken young man. I just hope he can go take care of business. Hope he's just not a lot of smoke. I know he's trying to get guys to stay in here and come here, but he'll be a top. He'll be a help get recruits.
You think he'll start day one?
I think he'll be in the rotation.
He's gonna be in the rotation. You had the Ford kid. I thought Ford was amazing when he was at Oklahoma State, and when he got the OUs, he's never returned it.
Well, he had a lot of injuries. So.
Yeah, he did have a lot of injuries, and I think the edge position at OU was a little bit deeper than it was at OSU.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had to get
a lot of people left.
Well, you had Stripling graduated. Downs is coming back. We'll have
I thought Stripling had another year.
No, I think Stripling's done.
Oh, he could be.
I think he's done. 'Cause either way, I know he's not playing at OU
right,
next year because I saw him post on social media. But who else did you have? You had Bothroyd, who's also his last year of eligibility was
pretty good.
Year. He was pretty good. So I mean, you had a lot of depth at edge for OU
you had
this
big
year.
Dude,
so
the freshman.
Yeah.
32.
Oh, 34. PJ at a ball.
Yeah. I gotta ask you a quick question because you said you thought X was getting some bowl reps.
I thought that was I heard that was the goal.
He can practice.
Yeah, so he's actually
he can't play in the bowl game though.
He can. He can. Yeah, he can be eligible to play in the bowl game if he wants, and it wouldn't count against his eligibility.
Season.
It wouldn't burn his red shirt or nothing. So.
X, get him a couple touches.
Yeah.
See what you got.
That'd be cool.
I'd
like to see it.
I think Sperry. I think everybody was kind of worried when Sperry. Want to stay.
Oh, was he going to leave?
He wasn't going to.
I really think Sperry's going to. He'll stick around. They say he's a big Venables fan. Really a man of Christ.
And I mean, really, a lot of those guys they like. I mean, Luttrell. They know those guys. He knows those guys too, and those guys know him. So I think a lot of people kind of pushed for Luttrell to be the next offensive coordinator. Michael Hawkins, the guy that OU has committed at quarterback for this year's class. Big fan. Like him and his family love Luttrell. They're pretty excited about that.
I think he's a guy that you could hang out with and shoot the BS with, and everything will be all right. But I just think he does. He's gonna do a good job. Him and Joe.
Yeah,
Joe's a tight end.
I'm excited to see how that looks. The bowl game will be the first kind of telltale.
As long
of that,
as we don't get a. What are that play? I always forgot the
jet sweep.
A jet sweep, right? As long as we don't get a jet
3rd
sweep.
and 12.
We should do that the first play.
3rd and 12. Let's run jet sweep.
God damn.
I don't know. I don't even call that in Madden, man.
What about Oregon? I mean, Oregon seems like they're cleaning up a little bit in the transfer portal.
No, Colorado.
Colorado and Ole Miss.
Colorado, Ole Miss, and Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska had that QB.
The number one QB.
They had a flip from Georgia.
What do you think happened on that?
He told you the week before. The quarterbacks are going for $1.1 million.
This is something. Let's talk about this. You talk about the quarterbacks going 1 point what?
1.
Okay.
They have a website that shows you what they're making.
Yeah, like if you go on 3, you can see
7 to 800,000.
But you got the quarterback that starts for the San Francisco 49ers, Prury.
Right, he went 5th, 6th round.
He was the very last pick in the draft.
Quarterback for San Francisco.
That is true.
I don't think that's
true. You can go out there, Tony.
Hell.
Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk,
you got like
George
5
Kittle,
Pro Bowls on offense.
Yeah, your offensive line, they ain't gonna let nobody through.
They're turning 5-yard passes into 80-yard touchdowns.
I don't even know how he's up for the MVP. I get it, he's winning.
What about Dax?
But it's like it's literally check downs
White
and
chocolate
Debo's taking
get
it.
MVP.
Yeah, give it to McCaffrey, man.
McCaffrey.
What about Dax?
If Tyreek Hill gets that
Same
2,000
thing.
yard mark, I think Tyreek should get it.
What about Dax?
Same quarterback.
No.
Dax, we don't trust, folks. I'm a Cowboys fan, but
I think this is his best season so far.
Oh yeah, because he's throwing everything short, and they're getting them yards. He can't throw the ball down the field.
I think him and CD finally got that connection.
If you see anybody has a good defense, Philly, and they're falling off because Jalen Hurts, man. I mean,
Philly's defense hasn't been good.
I don't think it's Jalen. It's
Philly's
part of the play.
Philly's defense have a Georgia's defense.
Well, Philly's defense is the reason why they're at 4 losses. If their defense was better, they're probably 1 or 2 losses.
Right.
Their secondary,
gonna lose in the NFL.
gives up a bunch of yards. So
But no one's beating San Fran. It's a wrap.
You don't think?
No.
Yeah.
Who's gonna stop San Fran?
I don't know. They've been stopped before.
None of those AFC teams are.
No, that's when they didn't have the quarterback.
I don't know.
Can't. Well, it's not going to be the Chiefs. His
So you
receivers
think
can't catch the
Deion's done
ball.
a good job with the transfer?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's.
They got a good chance to do some big things in the Big 12 next year.
I think so.
I
I'll
think
see why
Gundy
not.
needs to get in that transfer portal,
Gundy who?
huh? Mike is the only Gundy left. The other one don't work no more.
What do you mean?
Go get.
Oh,
some
go
kids.
get somebody. He doesn't believe in it.
Well, I mean, and that's why when you start getting all these Utah and all these teams that is coming in, who else is coming in? Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona State.
I mean, you got some big dogs coming
Well,
in.
he gonna figure it out. So what about Saban? You think this is last year?
No.
I think if he wins it, I don't see. I mean,
And then Dabo comes
I don't know
in?
if it'll happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if
Oh, you
if
think
he
he's
wins
trying to
it
get
this year.
10?
Get 10? Why not? Why not go for 10?
How many you got now?
8, 7 or 8?
8, I think.
Yeah. How long is what's his name? Monroe, whatever his name is.
Oh,
How-
Milroe. I think he's draft eligible next year. So if he has a good season next year,
So if he wins one this year and the next one, he loves that quarterback. So I see him staying until he's there.
He didn't love him at first.
Yeah, he did. That was boosters.
Oh,
You in Alabama? Come on now. What I had
who
to
was that?
not say
Buckner?
anything else.
Was that his name that they were starting at first?
Who?
I think
Was
he
that
got
Tyler
the transfer.
Buckner?
Didn't he get the transfer portal?
Who did?
He got in the transfer portal and went
He was
to
from
play lacrosse.
Notre Dame, right?
He's not
Oh,
playing
yeah, he
football.
did. He did go
Yeah. He's playing
He
lacrosse.
said, "Hey, you know what? I'm done with football. Let's go
Play some lacrosse.
Yeah.
He might be good at lacrosse.
Yeah.
He go play up there at the Edmond Park. They got
He said Edmund Park.
Yeah. That's
You
that.
stupid.
That's that preppy sport.
Well, let's do this. Let's take this call real quick. Coach Rob. I like to talk about.
So he has a team, like a traveling team,
He has a traveling team.
So he's
like a whole
so
age group, or just
seven
I think
on
it's
seven?
Yeah, 7-on-7. I think it's
He's
15.
just-
And
oh.
then he got a
15.
17 and under.
Okay.
older cats.
I think his footwork. I talked to him a little bit last night.
How's he different than what's his name?
Dobbins.
Dobbins. Yeah.
He's out of Texas, so you got a bigger fan base, man.
But there's another one out of Texas, all receivers.
Sean Cooper.
No, he played for BYU.
I don't know. I mean, you might be able to ask him that question.
I know Sean Cooper. He's pretty well known in the 7-on-7 like training community. He trains a bunch of those guys.
Yeah.
So he's based out of Durant. So he gets all those Oklahoma guys and all
that's
those.
C4.
Yeah, C4.
C4 is good though. They do a good job.
Yeah, they're really good.
He was kind of telling me about it last night. He's like, man, it's a cutthroat sport though.
What is?
Yeah. 7-on-7. I love 7-on-7. Like when I was in high school and we played 7-on-7, loved it.
I love it too.
They didn't really have that when we was going.
But like I said, we're gonna take a quick break. After what?
One of our sponsors.
Keep it at 100. Oklahoma High School Sports. Merry Christmas to everybody and a Happy New Year. Like I said, we'll be right back after one of our sponsors.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Linex Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this special Tuesday night right before Christmas. We got a special guest all the way from the state of Texas, Coach Rob with the 7-on-7. How you doing, Coach Rob?
How y'all doing tonight, man?
We
Doing all
can't
right.
complain. I got Jonah with me on the show, and then Ethan, my two compadres that helped me run this show. But Coach Rob, we want us to tell us a little about the 7-on-7 that you got going, and tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you played some college ball up in at Langston, and then and you've been doing some training and coaching high school sports. So, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, man, I'm born and raised on the east side of Oklahoma City. I went to Northeast High School, graduated in 2008. Man, I went and played 4 years at Langston University. And then when I got done playing, I went straight into coaching. My first year, I was like the assistant DB coach. My second year, I was with the running backs. And then my last 2 years, I finally went home to wide receivers. And that's how my journey kind of started. I ended up moving to Dallas in 2017. And I started training and working at J.L. Long Middle School, I coached at Woodrow Wilson High School, kind of trained all the kids in that area from like 2017 to now. And man, it just been a long journey, man. And man, we just keep getting better every day.
You know, Coach Rob, you know, you talk about, you know, playing at Langston and, you know, being in Dallas. You know, I saw some guys on the Twitter page the other day kind of complaining. I mean, not complaining, but comparing high school football with Texas and Oklahoma. And you seen it both on both hands, being in Texas and playing in Oklahoma, then playing college ball in Oklahoma. Do you think it's really a big difference between Texas and Oklahoma? And before you answer that, I'm gonna say yes because I think Texas is the real deal.
It's too big.
I mean, watching some of those guys the other day, not South Lake Curl, but Duncanville, and then what's that North Shore?
I think so, North Shore.
Yeah, out of Houston. Yeah, North Shore.
Houston. Man, those guys look like grown ass men. I mean, just keep it 100.
Yeah, man. Me personally, man, I think it is difference, but I don't think it's a huge difference. I think that the deciding factor is like in Texas, man, you got a lot of depth at positions and stuff like that. And then in Oklahoma, like I said, I'm not gonna take anything away from my home state. I think it's ball players out there, and I think it's great coaching going on out there, and I just think they got to tighten up in a few areas, but other than that, man, I like Oklahoma high school football. That's why I keep up with it so much. But man, in Texas, man, it's just, man, you got indoor facilities that's 120 yards,
right.
So it's yeah, for sure. So on days when it's bad weather, man, it's no missing practice. So and it's not practicing in the gym.
Plus
and then
sorry, my bad.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying. Plus, you got a bigger community. There's more money into the schools. I mean, you got $1 million facilities that look like college campuses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna get that in Tulsa. You know, your Unions and your Bixby's and Owasso and things like that. So that's the problem. I think, like you said, is the depth where you gonna have 180 kids on the sideline at a Texas school. And here we may have 55 to 60.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, like out here, man, they take sub varsity serious out here, man. So it's like, it's some schools, some big schools, man, they got 3 freshman teams, 3 JVs, and then 1 varsity.
Yeah. You have
to. So man, it really don't stop. But I just think, and I think another thing too is, man, football is just so year round out here. Like I was telling my boy last night. So I coach 7-on-7 out here. Man, we had kids that played in the state game Saturday night. Man, they showed up to practice Sunday morning, man, for 7-on-7 already. So, and we wasn't really putting a lot of pressure on them because we know they played the night before. But man, some of them kids just be hungry to get right back at it.
I mean, that's big time. When you start talking about Texas football. You start talking about the facilities. I mean, I know there's 3 schools here in the Middale area in Choctaw, and I think Hera. They're all trying to get their indoor facilities. But kind of like me. You kind of talked last night. Are they going to be 40 yards? I mean, I don't know if they're going to be 120. 120 makes a big difference. You can have a whole full practice doing that, but 40 yards, you only can do so much stuff. And like you said, I mean, in those indoor facilities, they're going to have these schools that's been built out here in the Middale area. And then Choctaw Hera, it's probably going to be, you're probably going to have baseball in there and track in there. So they're going to be sharing that with everybody else. So, are you really getting the full practice that you really need, like you said, with it in Texas, man? Like I said, watching that state championship game just the other night, man, it's just seeing some of those kids. I was looking at that North Shore quarterback, man. He looked like, he kind of reminded me of the guy that used to play for the Raiders, the big quarterback that,
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell, he did, man. He
you talking about number 5?
Yeah, number 5. Big guy, just a big guy to try to bring down. But, you're not seeing those type of quarterbacks here in Oklahoma. And I'm just being real because I cover, all 3 of us cover a lot of high school sports here, and we get to see a lot of games. But I've not seen the type of athletes. I mean, I know you trained LaDainian, and that's how you kind of got hooked up. But, I think he's one of the better players in the state of Oklahoma this year. And Coach Rob, the work he put in over the summertime and, traveling with you guys and playing, in the 7-on-7 tournament. So tell us a little bit about the 7-on-7 though, because you guys ain't just local. In Oklahoma, Texas, you guys travel and go see the world.
Man, I think 7-on-7 is a great thing. It has its pros and cons. But I mean, I think I'm with a great group of guys that I work with. And I think we got a great vision of what we want to get accomplished with the kids. You know, like I said, man, we kind of stand on basic fundamentals of football, man, because I mean sometimes that 7-on-7 stuff can get kind of crazy, and a lot of high school coaches they don't really like it, you know, and I really don't blame them either, because it can get kind of hectic, and then you know the kids probably bring back bad habits, you know, like
right.
So I look at it from a football, like a real football coach standpoint, other than, you know, just trying to, because, you know, like it's really turned 7-on-7 football is really turned into AAU basketball, like, right. You know how. So man, we just be trying to get the kids to still hone in on fundamentals and put it in a standpoint of like you playing on a Friday night. So that's kind of how we stand on it. But I think, like I said, I think 7-on-7 is a great thing, man, because I know with our program, when we travel places, we try to visit that college in that town. Like last April, we went up to Indiana and Indianapolis, and we went and visited Purdue. And, you know, a lot of kids, man, they really don't get to do that type of stuff, man. So it was kind of a good thing to do. But for the most part, man, I love the 7-on-7 stuff, man.
So do you have tryouts, or how's that work? You only have one age group?
So we got a 14U team, we got a 15U team, and then we got 2 18U teams. Mm-hmm. So we have tryouts every year. We don't really pre-pick players unless like we had like a young team, and a lot of those guys are returners. So gotcha. Even then, man, those guys be so hungry, they still go through the tryouts. So but like we truly pick guys every year, and like last year, man, Ladanian came down, tried to try out, man, he tore it up, man, and, on both sides of the ball. So he kind of stood out and tested his game against like some Texas kids, and man, he didn't look no different than them. So man, just kind of pat him on the back for just coming down and competing, man, because at the end of the day, man, it's all about competing. And going out there giving effort.
Are you coaching regular football and flag football, or you just transitioned to flag football?
Nah, so I teach at Highland Park High School, and
what do you teach?
I'm in special ed.
Okay.
I do special
so
ed, and then
patience then, huh?
Yeah, man. You gotta have patience dealing with that. But I train and just do 7-on-7, and I mean, that's pretty much what I do, man. That 7-day-a-week grind as a high school coach is crazy, man. Like, it took a lot out of me. The last season I coached was 2019, and man, it took me about. But I got halfway through COVID before I recovered from that season, because it's a grind, man. Like it's seriously a grind. Like from spring ball all the way until November. Then shoot, don't be one of those playoff contenders where you gonna go 5-6 rounds deep.
Oh, y'all got that many rounds?
Yeah.
I
didn't know that.
I didn't know Texas played the whole state of Texas though. Like a Dallas team can play a Houston team. It's not like Oklahoma, you know.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's big time. So you playing 5.
Oh, so that's why you saw those crazy matchups, like, because you just said Houston team played. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a big state, man. So they got Houston regions and all of that, and it's crazy, man. That's why
that's how it should be across the board.
Yeah. So in the playoffs, in the championship games, man. Like we had SOC out of the Metroplex, Alito out of the Metroplex, Anna, that's a 4A school that's up north out of the Metroplex, and then of course you got Duncanville and DeSoto. So it's basically North Texas versus South Texas, man, in the championships every year.
So you truly getting your state champion.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how
For
it is in
sure.
wrestling too.
So
Yep.
why is Oklahoma
So
behind then like that?
Well, I mean, Texas is a big state, so I mean,
I
when
mean,
you-
but I
yeah.
mean, if you think about it, that's how it should be, though.
yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
really kind of got it like that. I mean, you got your big
Well, they
six
just
that
now started it. When we were
but-
playing, it was you played this side of the ball and you never played.
No, but I mean, the Texas. I mean, could you imagine any of those teams? I mean, even good as Bigsby is matching up against North Shore or the.
No.
I mean, it wouldn't even be.
I mean, Bixby's kind of hard because you got to figure out that offense. But I mean, if they played every year, yeah, no, Bixby. No,
I
they
just
wouldn't.
think that, man, just watching those teams the other day, there was like Division One.
I mean, it basically is.
Yeah,
I mean,
those
they're
guys are- I mean,
resources.
I mean, you got to think Corey Durham's boy, a kid out of Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah, is going to LSU.
Yeah.
Like, he was right in the backyard at sophomore,
Right.
and he leaves and takes his talents to up there in Texas now. He's playing. I mean, and he's a young man. I think if he stays healthy and all, I think he's a young man that's going to have a chance to go play in the NFL.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
he,
mean,
yeah,
He
he
has that track
definitely.
speed.
Yeah. for
You
sure.
saw what he did in the state championship game. What he had like 4 touchdowns, over 250
Yeah,
something.
he won the
yards.
MVP, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
2 years in a row, man. The kid has showed out.
Yeah.
He's also a track star too.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He been having his foot on the gas since week 1.
Right.
So, Coach,
And
I'm sorry. I was going to say, tell us about some of the guys that you got to train. I know you talked about the twins that you've had and doing big things with them. Because I think that's what it's all about, man. Because I know you're not about taking a bunch of players and trying to get. I mean, and trying to get a bunch of money. You're just trying to get the kids right, and you're not trying to. You're not like some of these guys charging $80-$90 for one section. It seems like you're a reasonable guy
Or-
and doing the right thing.
I mean, how he said he only has a certain age group because usually those coaches will have 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, but he seems like he's trying to hone on a certain age group to get them ready for college ball.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
I
can
mean,
tell.
the big thing, I don't really shy away from that age group, but I mean, it just be more so high school and college guys that I kind of attract, So, I mean, I train some little league kids if I
He said,
have to.
Don't get it twisted. I'll train some.
Yeah, I get out there with them, man, because that's where the foundation starts
Right.
at, man. Like with like the younger kids, and if you can get them to lock in early, and of course, man, you don't want to overwhelm them because at the end of the day, you still want them to be kids. So, but it's a big but. Like, man, that little league stuff be so serious, man. Like man, them kids be playing more than some of the high school
40
kids,
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So, because I mean, I got some friends that coach a little league ball, and man, they be getting after it, and I don't blame them at all, because that's, like I said, that's where it started. But I train pretty cool amount of college kids. Like you said, I got the twins that played at Oklahoma State. They both, one transferred to Wisconsin, and Blaine is actually in the portal right now. Kind of excited to see where he goes. I got a kid named Jay Fair. I started training him his sophomore year. He blew up. He plays at Auburn. I think his freshman year he played in all 11 games, and then this past season he started at slot receiver. Real explosive kid out of he's from Saxe, Texas, in Dallas, Texas. I got a kid, Zion Steptoe. He just transferred from Purdue to Tulsa. Pretty athletic kid. He played at Frisco Memorial High School. I started training him his sophomore year at high school. I got a kid named Zach Evans. He plays running back. He just transferred from Minnesota to North Texas. Real good athlete. Let me see who else. Like I said, I got the twins. I got a kid named Ellis Rogers. He plays at PV at Prairie View. I worked. One of the first kids I ever worked with is big defensive end, man. Because like I said, when I first moved to Dallas, I was doing like footwork and agility work and movement. That was like the first kid I got with. And man, he actually 6'6", 255 now. He plays defensive end at New Mexico, University of New Mexico. He's actually out there with a Dale City kid, man. He said that's one of his good friends, man. I can't think of that kid's name.
I'm trying to think of who's at New Mexico from Del City.
Oh, wow. Might Google their roster real quick.
Yeah.
It seems like you've touched a lot of kids, man. That's what it's all about, is getting that action, because people don't realize, kind of like me and you talked last night. I think getting with a trainer, 7-on-7 team, and traveling, especially seeing seeing what you're seeing. Like, so you guys go play in Florida and all that, so you're seeing a different type of speed. I mean, everybody can talk about Texas speed, but when you go out there and start playing in Florida, you see a whole different speed. You seeing that, that Nigerian speed. And so I just think that, like I told you, when we had the little team, me and my brother Jonah was coaching a little 707 team, and they were just a bunch of local kids that we had, but we took them to Texas and Dallas, and then we took them down to College Station. And just for those guys to see that, because, you're not going to see that kind of speed in Oklahoma. I mean, you're going to see a little bit, but you're not going to see it on every day, every game. It's like when you guys are going playing down there in Miami, and, and you're playing all these different teams that's all over. And like you said last night, a lot of these teams are I mean, they're paying. I mean, they're paying for you to come play 7-on-7. They're flying you out, giving you the gear, and then it's like it's a dog-eat-dog cutthroat, world out there. They're trying to steal your players because they're all trying to be the top of the notch. Like you said, 7-on-7 is like AU basketball.
Right.
You see a lot in AU basketball. People's trying to come get your kid. I mean, my daughter plays AU. We've had people knock on the door and say this and that, but I feel like once you get a coach that you love and you can trust and be with, that's who you want to be with, man, because everything else is shady. And you talked about a lot of the kids that you coach. We had this discussion a couple weeks ago on this show. Is a transfer portal. I'm not against it, but I think you got to do something about it. I think we got too many kids transferring year in, year and out, and my brother made some good points on it, but at the end of the day, man, you just got kids leaving.
But are you playing for the coach or are you playing for the school?
But if the coach is still there, why are we transferring then?
Okay.
If the
You
school's
talking
still
about
there.
high school or college?
I mean, college.
All the above. Yeah.
High school kids are
Oh,
leaving
yeah,
now. We just
right.
opened it up the door at Oklahoma that you really get one free transfer, but before kids were leaving and going to different schools, but
You
they
got to sit
wasn't
out.
moving.
Yeah, man. My take on that is, man, like, as a trainer, just how I am as a person, I try to help, as far as like, man, just trying to like identify the problem or why you want to transfer, but at the same time, man, that's up to that kid and his parents. I'm not gonna try to make no decisions for a kid to transfer, like, man, because me personally, I don't want to be like, hey, look, you need to go here, and then if it don't work out, shoot, the finger pointing back at me. But nah, I'm gonna support whatever you want to do. Like, if you leave and go somewhere, I'm gonna rock with you no matter what. Like, man, so I just be wanting them to make sure that's the best decision that they make it for them and their family, So, and then that high school portal, man, I completely try to stay out of that, because you don't want that on your name as that trainer right there is trying to place kids different places and
Right.
do all that. Like, nah, man, I don't want to blow my relationships with
And
some of
then
the high
they'll say
school
you trying to
coaches.
recruit for one school and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't want to blow my relationship because I mean, like, you got to have a good relationship with some of these high school coaches, but because, man, at the end of the day, man, they the ones that's opening up their facilities for us to use, and like they want us to come in and get their proper work in, and just because especially if they know you 100% about the kids, man, because that's the end of the day.
Hey, Coach, do you know Hicks out of Texas?
Hicks.
Yeah, I think he played at BYU. I think he trains as well. Some Texas.
Oh,
kids.
you talking about Coach Hooks?
Hooks. I don't know why I say Hicks. Yeah, Coach Hooks.
Yeah, he a good dude, man. I actually be working. I help him work his camps and stuff sometime, and man, he a good guy, man. He do what he's supposed to do as far as like developing these guys. He got a lot of top high school kids, and he actually throws me clients sometimes.
I was about to say, how close were you with him?
Yeah, he a good dude, man. But one thing about him, man, you call Coach Hooks or he call you, man, you better clear his schedule, man, because he gonna talk to you, man. Like, you gonna look up, you gonna look up, man. You gonna be on the phone with him for 2-3 hours. You like, dang, man, like.
That's good stuff.
But he he gonna give you some game, and he gonna tell you what you need to do to be a better trainer and how to handle certain situations, man. Like he been doing it for a long time,
Right.
so I gotta tip my hat to him, and because man, it's a dirty game sometimes, and you just gotta have good people in your corner. Like I got some great partners in my corner as far as like on the training and 7-on-7 tip. Like the guy that actually runs and he's the founder of our 7-on-7 team. His name is Flight Skills. You'll
Did he
probably
run
see
track?
him on. He might have did. I think he did run track.
Okay, I know you're talking about.
But he trains a lot of the top DBs
Yeah, I know
in the state of Texas, and he got a bunch of NFL guys. But one thing about him, man, he stays the same person every day. So he don't big time people. You can hit him up, he'll hit you back. So I work with him. He runs the whole defensive side of the ball for the organization, and then I work with a guy named Coach Miller. He's a receiver coach at Lincoln. I think he's going to a new school. He also trains too, and he has a media thing. He has his own little media company too, and he does a great job, man. He an old school coach, and he gets the best out of his kids that he trained and he coached, and he's the offensive coordinator for our national team. And then I'm the offensive coordinator for our sophomore national team. And then let me see who else. We got an NFL guy. His name is Nate Brooks. He plays DB. He coaches like the corners and the safeties on one team. And we got a guy named Blake. He played. I think Flight trained him when he was in high school, but now he works and trains with us and coaches with us. And then we merged with a team, the Young Bulls. We got their coaching staff. They some great guys. Man, we got a group of guys that really love the kids, man. Like we have fun with each other. Should we argue? Man, we talk mess to each other, But like I said, at the end of the day, man, we here for the kids.
Like they always say, the show must go on. Welcome back to Keep It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. On here with Coach Rob, talking about 7-on-7, what he's done in the state of Oklahoma, what he's doing in Texas. As before we got cut off, before the computer said, "Hey, I want to take a break too." We was talking about Coach coming back home and maybe doing some training here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm definitely open for it, and I just want to get them kids out there because, I mean, I'm always going to have a big place in my heart for Oklahoma at all, like for real. And, man, I'd love to get out there to work with some of those guys and just trying to build a relationship with them like I got with these kids out here.
Well, if anybody has any, excuse my French, but any common sense, I mean, if you got a young man like yourself working with some of the top players in the state of Oklahoma, state of Texas, sending kids to college and still working while they're in college. And that just shows you how much respect they have for you, for the parents that still want to see you and, send you to them and work them out. And like I said, it's kind of like when you fall in love with that trainer, you know what he's going to give you. He's going to tell you the techniques that you need to work on. And I got to ask you this question when, you look at some of these college DB coaches, they might not be as poised as you, and are they teaching the right techniques? I know you don't try to override them. So how do you do that? Instead of if a guy's getting bad technique from his college coach or even a high school coach, how do you try to fix that without stepping on anybody's toes? Yeah.
Man, the biggest thing, like if a kid come to me about training, high school or college, man, I just ask them, what is the receiver coach for one, and for two, the offensive coordinator, like what is the philosophy and what do they look for out of you as a receiver, and like what's your role and how do they teach certain stuff? So when they explain that to me, I just try to take whatever they teaching them and try to get them better at that, because at the end of the day, you gotta do what they tell you to do in order to play. You know what I'm saying? So if it's some stuff that I feel like is wrong, man, just try to tweak it. I try to tweak it a lot where it still looks like what they're teaching them, but it's just a more efficient way to help them out. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like Buff Daddy does with the music. He mixes it.
Yeah, man. Man, but for the most part, man, like some of the receiver coaches that I got like a small relationship with, man, they love what I do with the guys, and you know, at the end of the day, man, they gonna develop them a lot too, but at the same time, man, they just trying to teach the plays. And shoot, if a kid come in super polished, man, they just a bunch of stuff that they really don't have to teach, man. So, like for example, my boy Jay from Auburn, when he left because he was an early enrollee, after his last high school game, I think he took like a week off, and then we got right back at it. And I think like one of the advantages that I have as a trainer is that, man, I actually coach on the college level, matter whether it's I coached NAIA, but it's still college.
Yes,
so, and I had a great mentor when I coached college ball. When I actually got back to coaching receivers, he the offensive coordinator at Alabama State, Harry Williams. He played in the NFL himself. He helped me a lot, like grow as a receiver coach. You know, so some of the stuff that he taught me, I teach some of these guys still to this day, and it's pretty good. But like I said, for the most part, man, I just try to get out there and get the boys right. You know what I'm saying? As far as just using less steps as possible, or just playing with urgency. You know, a lot of these kids don't really play with a lot of urgency. So, I mean, you got to have urgency to play on a college level, let alone it being Power 5. Like, you got to play with urgency. So, but yeah, that's kind of how I get them, you know. And they receiver coaches feel like when they come home, because they don't, like, you look at it, man, D1 athletes, they only home 2 months out of the year, if you think about it.
It's a full-time job.
They come home in May for, like, they probably be home in May for probably like 20 days. And then when they come home, if they don't go to a bowl game, they might be home the beginning of December, and they gone the beginning of January. So, I mean, you get another month right there. But if they play in a bowl game, I might get my guys, like, shoot, I probably get to train them probably like 4 times during winter break. And then they back to school starting winter conditioning. So, yeah, so you only get a certain amount of time with those guys, so you got to really maximize those minutes, for sure. And but what I do, I go see them in the summertime. I go to their campuses, so
that's big time. Showing that love. E, got any
sure.
questions for Coach Rob?
No, I mean, so I guess there's kind of I wouldn't say stigma around 7-on-7. A lot of people, more like old school people, you know, they kind of look down on 7-on-7, you know, but, you know, you were talking about the advantages it can have and how it can, you know, translate onto the field on Fridays and, you know, help these players succeed. So just kind of what would you say in regards to people that, you know, still look at 7-on-7 as, you know, maybe something that shouldn't be around?
I don't know, man. I think they just got to move with the times. You know, like, I mean, you just got to understand, man. At the end of the day, man, them kids they gonna play 7-on-7 if they want to. Right. So, and it's ultimately on them. But what I can say is, man, it help the kids' athleticism. Mm-hmm. Because they just out there, they out there working, and they especially if you play at a high school that play a lot of man coverage, and you right. 7-on-7 helps with man coverage a lot. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think it helps because it's just extra reps. Like, just think if you get just think if you get some kids on a team, on a 7-on-7 team, that might not really get a lot of reps during the season, and like for example, freshman ball is over first, and you know if you're not really gifted enough to play JV or varsity yet, man, 7-on-7 is gonna help them get extra reps as far as like if it's a quarterback just helping with timing, or receivers helping with route running, getting off of the press, working on secondary releases to help them get open, separation, and then DBs just working on zone coverage, man coverage, just out there just moving around, running because, like I said, the weather in Texas, man, it get cold, but man, it holds up. And then, like you said, we got all of these facilities. So, I mean, why not work on your game year round? Because high school ball, like, for example, out here, they got that you might practice in the period. You might have you might practice before school, and then some schools go before school and after school. But you still like me, because I'm gonna speak as a former coach, high school coach. When I coach receivers, I just didn't have enough time to have individual. Like that's individual, just me and the receivers working on coming out of breaks, or just working on movement, or working on separation, or working on the top of the routes and stuff like that. You don't get enough time of that. Like some high schools, man, they probably get. I ask some receiver coach, I'm like, man, how much time Indy do you get at practice? Like, man, we might get 15 minutes. And then in that 15 minutes, you might be just trying to really teach the concept of the plays, because it's just not enough time. So that's when 7-on-7 and getting a private trainer, that's when you can make those reps up right there. Because, I mean, I know, like, during the season, I train in season on Sundays, and I call it in-season Sundays. And then I just ask the kids, like, man, what's something that you need to work on this week, or who you playing against this week, or is that a big press coverage team, or that's a big cover 3 team, or something like that, and we work on those reps. So I'm just really, I feel like some trainers are taking a lot of the pressure off of the receiver coaches, because I mean you don't get a lot of time in individual, man, and that's one thing that killed me as a coach. I'm like, dang, like I get going, and then we blowing the whistle to go to group, and group is when you weren't working, doing plays on air. You working on the top plays that you're gonna run that week, and then when you get out of that, you might go in the 7-on-7 period, and then from 7-on-7 you go in the team. So you don't really get enough time with your players that you need, you know. So I feel like that's when like 7-on-7 come in, and with my quarterbacks that I coach in our 7-on-7, shoot, I tell them, all right, let's install your 5 favorite concepts that your high school, your offensive coordinator like to run. And we run that at 7-on-7. Now he getting reps. He getting reps of the top plays that his OC gonna have him running when spring ball comes. So when that time roll around, man, that kid, yeah, he ready. He done seen, because you gonna see some crazy coverages in 7-on-7. So him seeing all these different coverages and running his 5 bread and butter plays that his OC gonna run. Shoot, when he get to spring ball, man, he gonna see all kind of. He done seen all different type of looks with these 5 plays, so he gonna be ready on Friday night when he see, okay, shoot, this is my coach top play right here. He called in the game, and we know if we got cover 3 on, shoot, I'm finna cook this because I done seen it in so many different ways. So I feel like you just getting a lot of reps with it, man. So, and to be honest, man, I feel like it's about 85 to 90% high school coaches in Texas that kind of they didn't jumped on the 7-on-7 bandwagon. Not bandwagon, I want to say it like that. They didn't jumped on it, but like, oh, okay, cool. Long as they know their kids are taken care of, they're not getting in trouble. We giving them opportunities, because I mean, I feel like our coaches, we reach out to the high school coaches to give them updates like, hey, this kid, they doing good, man. We doing all right. And you know they gonna open their doors to us to use their facilities, and they get to kind of peep in and look, see what's going on too. So I think it's a good thing.
That's big time. Well, Coach Rob, man, we really appreciate you coming on, spending your holidays, going into Christmas. Hope you got all your Christmas shopping done. To come on Keep It 100, man. Like I said, we love branching out. Like I said, got a guy from Texas, man, and talk about some of the guys you've coached, man. Like I said, you got some good guys as you coaching in college and high school, and like one of the top players here, the guy he's up for Gatorade Player of the Year, LaDainian Fields, man. You got a chance to have him over the summer, and having him doing 7-on-7, and you could tell whatever you did with him in the camps he went to, he showed Oklahoma. He is one of the top players in the state of Oklahoma. Young man that was at Southeast, took his talents over to Dale City. To the Eagles and took them to a state championship, came up short, but I think the guy's going to do big things when he gets to the next level, whatever college he decides to go to. I know TCU's been on him real tough, and I think Oklahoma State came in, and Kansas State has kind of talked to him. So, I know his dad has, reached out to, talk to me to have you come on, and I really appreciate it because, like I said, I think these young men got to know what's going on, and like you said, you could have said even better, man. 7-on-7 has become the AAU of basketball and football, so I'm glad you're part of that. I'm glad you're working with these young men, and I think you'll continue, and I hope you can bring a lot of your knowledge from Texas into Oklahoma and work with some of these Oklahoma kids. I know my nephew would be willing to come and work with you, and my brother might even make that drive to Texas because, like I said, anytime you can get your kid better and get him a scholarship, I tell people all the time, it's like winning the lottery. You ain't got to pay $100,000. You're getting it free.
Yep. Yeah, and I also want to give a shout out to because I'm not gonna take 100% credit for Day, man. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Coach Jones at Dale City for because man, he put him and RJ through the ringer when they transferred over there. It wasn't nothing handed to him from things I hear. And then, man, he helped Day get his 40 time down.
Yes,
man, he did his job too, man, for sure. And I want to give a shout out to my boy Flight, because he helped Day also on the DB aspect. Because man, he a great talent evaluator and he a great trainer. He did his thing with Day too, as far as getting him ready on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes,
and yeah, man, I just you got to give your hats off to them because, man, like you say, what our grandmothers used to say, man, it take a village, and that goes in all. That go with all aspects of life. Period. So, I just want to give them a shout out too, man.
And like I said, I want you to keep in touch, man. Like I said, we'll drop this show. We'll drop it. Tell everybody about Keep It 100, man. Oklahoma High School Sports. We got high school kids come to us all the time. We like to branch out to those Texas kids and get to know them because some of them become Oklahoma State. So, we'll love them to, come on and tell us about them and get to know them before they come to the University of Oklahoma State, or Tulsa,
sure.
So, like I said, we really appreciate you coming on and giving us your time this evening and talking to us. Sorry about that. We had to drop off, but I guess
you all good.
When everybody want to try to use your top-notch laptop, so it wasn't charged up. So I apologize on that. That's my fault. But like I said, I'm glad we got a chance to get you back on and finish this conversation. So good luck to you in your journey. But like I said, I want us to keep in touch, man. And anytime that you're doing something, man, let me know because I would retweet it and get it out and let people know that you're coming this way to the 405, and hopefully they can link up with you.
Yes, sir, man. I'm gonna tell everybody my Twitter name and my Instagram name.
Yes, sir.
My Twitter name is Coach J Rob 56, and then my Instagram name is the official _ Coach Rob 56. Y'all can follow me on there. You could kind of see my training content or whatever. And then, man, feel free to DM me. And man, like I said, I love to get back into Oklahoma. One of my line brothers, coach at Midwest City, Dominique Barnes-Carn. He's the DB coach. And then my other line brother, Anthony Stewart, is a linebacker coach at Dale City. So, man, I love to work with the Dale City guys, the Midwest City guys, and just kind of, try to bridge that gap, man, and because, man, like I said, I look at it as, man, I love to give back to Oklahoma, man. And that's where my heart is. So I just live out here in Texas. That's all.
That's it. Well, we appreciate you, man. Like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll keep in touch. Okay, Coach?
All right, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Have a good
All
one.
right.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Well, folks, that's Coach Rob with, Flight, 707. They do a lot of traveling. Like I said, he has roots here in Oklahoma, but he's taking his talents there in the Texas area, training a lot of different, young men, from the age group. And like I said, he ain't discriminating against 6-year-olds or 7-year-olds, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Money talks, bullshit walks. So, like I said, I think you heard him, drop his DM and his Twitter page. I think he's done some good things. Like I said, he gave his flowers to the other coaches, Coach Jones over at Dell City. I know Jones did help LaDana get his 40 time down. But anytime you can reach out to a guy that's in Texas that can come on the show and talk about his talents, it just shows you, what we growing at too as a podcast.
Right.
Not only do we just do podcasts and have people on, but we also try to get people branched out too. A lot of podcasts just talk about themselves, but we're all about helping everybody
else.
and that's the thing about it. But before we close this show up, though, I'm not gonna spend too much time. My man can talk, man. I tell you, man, he was running for president. I'm gonna vote for him. But
That's sales, man.
No, he's selling. I like it. But real quick, I know E didn't get a chance to do the Zoe deal, and Zoe's he's part of the family, man, and we. There it is. I had our Christmas stuff, but I got to get that logo back up because that's what it's all about. Oh shoot!
I was like, that's a video.
I got a video going, man. I got so much. Is that it right there? There we go. Now we going. But
that's still a video.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's the
God,
same.
man,
You pushing the wrong one.
I tell you, man, having this mic right here, boy, it's totally different holding that mic all the time. That's a small one. Oh, no, is that good?
Yeah, it works. I like it. It's not blurry.
Yeah. So, but, hopefully with Zoe, he can rebound and find himself a job. I know he got some different outtakes, and I know he had a lot of people go out there and support him and save Zoe and stand with Zoe and all the T-shirts and stuff like that, and that's cool. But all of us know it's a business, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm not saying he wasn't performing, but the years before he didn't have the good records, right? And so
it was up and down.
I mean, it was up and down.
But you gotta look at Westmore.
Yeah,
Westmore's acting like they've been going to state championships.
And
at the end of the day, I don't think that has any. I mean, I know so much we can say and can't say. None of that has anything.
But this is keeping 100. Zoe sitting here now.
None of that has anything to do with it. It's about they didn't want him there because of this, that, and whatever reason. I'm not gonna get into details, but I've been with him since he's been there.
Yes, sir.
And it's always been a struggle. Like you said, you're not your own AD, and you got two ADs.
Yeah. I think that's tough because I don't think you can win.
He has the best record, best accolades, best everything. Playoffs, in state. Mm-hmm. It wasn't about that. It was about three dudes. Three dudes and parents. Some parents that didn't want him there because their son didn't play, or he fired this person, or didn't fire this person, and it was, I'm gonna get you back, and I finally got you back. He could have won the Super Bowl, and they're still gonna fire him.
Like I said, I'm that guy because I'm gonna give everybody love. The guys on the podcast out there in Guthrie. What is their name of their show? The Huddle. And then they got the Bananas or whatever. They got a different couple ones, but listen to Chris Evans and his crew talk last week. Listen to him talk about high school coaches getting fired. Are we at that point now that high school coaches are going to get fired because they're not winning? Because there's a lot of high school.
That's always been that way, though?
No, not necessarily. I mean, how many coaches that's been fired for not winning? It's got to the point now because even his record this year is spoke for enough for him to keep his job. But
it's back then we weren't competing with the Tulsa teams. Now you're competing with, okay, look what Bixby's doing, look what Jinx is doing, look what all these schools are doing. But my thing is Westmore's not a football team. I mean, they hardly have fans in the stands. If anything, if Zoe's probably brought them more money, more and wins, everything. I'm not just saying that because of Zoe. I mean, you played against Westmore. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not like
I really had a bunch. When I played, they had Frazier.
They had good linemen. They have a good athlete, one or two good athletes.
E, what do you think? I know you didn't get the chance to talk on this subject, and I know we've been around Zoe and done some shows and had him on a couple times. And like I said, I was a guy that said, "Hey, 2 years ago, I was a guy on this show. E, you sat right next to me, and I said Zoe should have been fired."
But why should it be fired? You can't control.
Because if you're not winning, you should be.
But you can't control what players you have.
You get players. You got to get players to come in.
I mean, now you can't.
But everybody else is controlling their players.
Yeah. Well,
that's because they're not doing it right.
But time out. You got 3 schools there and more. You got sophomore that's just horrible.
Right.
Not taking that from your coach. Don't know who you are. You got Coach Bryant that's taking over more. I think they're gonna make a run because he still got some guys coming back. But if you're a good enough coach and you're a football player and you live in a town or more, why would you not go to Westmore? So there's a reason these kids are not going to Westmore, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why. There's a certain person that owns more.
But I mean, I know you're saying that, but I don't think that's all true because I think at the end of the day, and I said this at the beginning of the show when the football.
Okay, so why not go to Westmore if Westmore's beaten more so many times?
I'm asking these kids why they're not going. Why C.J. Miles is a hell of a player that just committed to Nebraska.
Some of that's because you can't. Because of the transfer thing,
but Moore's open.
They're open now.
Moore's always been open.
You mean like you can go?
CJ could have went to Westmore his freshman year. You can go in any school you want to before your freshman year.
But is he going to start at Westmore versus him starting at Moore?
Why would he not? He's
at quarterback. I'm saying
CJ's not a quarterback. CJ's a receiver, defensive back. CJ
right.
Miles. I'm just saying. I mean, he could have helped Zoe. So had the one little defensive back that's going to OU. So, I mean, you put those 2 guys back there, now you got a pretty deadly secondary.
I don't know why they don't.
I'm just saying, though, because obviously there's a reason.
Oh, you saying why not all the talent go to one school?
I mean, if you're a football player and Westmore is beating Moore and sophomore every year, why would you not take your kid to Westmore?
Not everybody's for everybody.
No, I'm just saying. That's
what I'm saying. Maybe they don't like Zoe. They don't like how he coach.
That's what I'm saying. So eventually you are going to – I think Westmore's looking for a home run coach. I do. I just think
but are they going to get it? They don't have home run players.
I mean, but like he just said, what would you just say a minute ago, 2 seconds ago?
You go get them.
You go get them. What Dion say? We what?
But that town is not a football town.
You can't say a town's not a football town. Washington wasn't a football town a few years back. Then they started bringing
define
in
a football
facilities.
town. I think Oklahoma's a football state.
Yeah.
So football's
right, but you have your schools that are they're a basketball school or they're a baseball school.
I don't know because I mean I think Carl Albert.
I know when my cousin was going to Westmore. It was a basketball school.
I mean it was a basketball school, but I think Carl Albert's become a school that is good in everything. They just want to stay champion in wrestling. They want to stay champion in baseball. They just want another one in football.
But the football has brought all that over there.
Well, yes and no because the wrestling program.
And then Carl Albert changes their fence line, and you can come in.
But you can't say the fence line. We're not talking about. We're talking about.
You talking about what?
We're talking about more Westmore. We're not talking about.
But Carl Albert doesn't have to compete against anything.
Who they don't compete against?
What school they have to compete?
I mean, they compete against Midwest City, Dale City.
Who's going to Midwest City?
I mean, it doesn't matter who's going to Midwest City. Midwest City.
Are you going to go Midwest City or Carl Albert? Which one are you going to go to?
It depends on what you try to go for. I mean, it depends on
rings.
Right.
Carl
so there's no competing.
But Midwest City was that school. Midwest City decided
and what happened?
Midwest City decided to let that get away. So Midwest City's not like that.
No, let's keep it
100.
100.
You can't say that. We're keeping it 100. But Dale City's the same way.
No, time out. What happened is when Midwest City decided to bust in Star Spencer kids, the kids that we went to school that we graduated with, we all went to Choctaw and Carl Albert because it was too dark. Keep it 100.
I mean, you keep it 100, but you still got the same kids at Dale City, and Dale City still played for a state championship this year. Dale City every year.
Dale City didn't bust anybody in. Dale City's been Dale City.
They're still getting kids to come in. You still got kids
that's
coming
not what
in
I'm
from
saying.
Cricket Oak and whatever.
Mill City turned into a basketball team when they bust in.
That's not true because Mill City has not been to a state championship in basketball in probably 10 years.
That's what I'm talking about. That's when it happened. It happened in 98.
No, what happened is that I'm going to tell you what happened in Midwest City. You want me to keep it 100?
What's that?
You should have hired Coach Ron Smith. You hire Ron Smith.
I mean, if you're going to go all the way back.
If you hire Ron Smith, now you got his boys that come in and play quarterback. Right. Now one of his sons
then you got a football coach playing. Coach,
you hired Coach V. From Coach Hall because Coach Hall's won
no, it's Coach V.
But I'm saying you had V, after V, you had Oliver. Those guys didn't have the same.
They don't have, right.
But at one point in time, kind of like if you look at Carl Albert's coaching staff, they got 20 coaches that probably 15 of them can be head coaches, but they decided, hey, we're all going to stay here and keep winning and doing a good job at it. So I think what Midwest City do when Coach Hall does retire, I think you got to go get a bomber and try to bring that back. If not, you're going to just keep falling down the steps because you're never going to catch Carl Albert.
I still think you got to do more. Because no one's going to want to go to Mill City.
I don't think that. I mean, I went to the basketball game the other night. It was a great environment. You're at the basketball.
We know that.
Yeah, but you
people
know
on
what?
the outside don't know.
But,
that.
I mean, it's funny. You can talk about people outside, but everybody listens
Well, as
to
of
rap
right
music.
now, I think Carl Albert.
I thought you
What school has the better facilities? What school has more money pouring into?
Right. You're going to go
Exactly.
to
Carl
Carl
Albert.
Albert. You're not going to go to Mill
But all
City.
three of them going to have indoor facilities. But I
Well,
still
yeah, I'm
think-
saying, but I don't think
I
that's going to change the aspect of what school is going to have more money poured into. I think
Right.
Carl Albert's still going to be
Still-
the money making
because
school.
you got
of the
you got more parents that probably live in nicer homes.
Right.
You know, a lot of those people still living on 15th and
Mill
Key
City has
Boulevard.
not developed anything.
No,
the
you're
same
right. You're
houses,
exactly
old
right.
19,
So,
20
I
houses.
drove by
are there.
old yellow house, man.
Right. All that stuff needs to go.
Needs to come down. Come
They
down.
need to.
But I said, I think Zoe will bounce back. But, you know, I don't think you go back to Westmore, even if they do offer your job back.
Oh,
That's
hell
how
no.
I feel.
Once you
I
done
think
with me,
you
I'm
move
done.
on.
Yeah.
I think he did his job there. He did 8 years there. That's pretty good for
Do you
a
think,
high school coach.
do you think he takes another head coaching job, or does he try to find like a
I mean,
coordinator
he may
spot?
have to work his way up.
I think you got to work your way up, and I don't think it's a slap in your face if somebody offers you something. I think you look at
You take it.
you take it, and you build your back. I know he was like, man, you know, I got coach of the year, but time out. You got coach of the year of the district. You didn't get coach of the year against.
I mean, it's still an accomplishment.
It is accomplishment, but I'm saying I think he's taking it to the point. Hey, I got
taking
coach of the
Taking it to the head, too.
yeah, too. I got coach of the year. No, you didn't beat out Montgomery from Bigsby. You didn't beat out Dunn from Carl Albert. You didn't beat out Coach Jones from Dell City. The guys that's taking their teams to another level. So yes, it's congratulations that you did coach of the year, but you got coach of the year in your district. You know, I mean, you see a lot of kids. I saw a kid that got honorable mention on district and never played it down. That's just somebody being nice, you know. So some of that
YMCA
district stuff, yeah, it's just a participation award I'm gonna give you. So like I said, I think he'll bounce back. I think he looks at his options, and you know, sometimes you got to pack up and move your family to do things.
I think that's the main reason why I say his family, and plus he has all those kids that is coming up, and then if they stay in that program, someone else is going to benefit from that.
But you know, but like I said, he said it. Say it one more time. You can do what now?
You can go get people.
Go
Go get.
I mean, so wherever he goes, somebody's going to benefit where he goes. You know, I know he's had some good.
Well, I mean, there's still rules within it. He can't recruit those. guys,
but kids gonna follow you though. I mean, that's
Right,
just the way
right.
it is though. You know, I mean,
Well, it depends on what
and,
school he goes
I mean,
to.
you know, if you're looking at, you know, people talk about, hey, the kid from Millwood, you know, he left Millwood, he's at Douglas, then, you know, everybody's talking about he might go to Carl Albert. You know, why would he not go to Carl Albert?
What grade
you
is
know?
he in?
He's a junior, so I mean, why not go to Carl Albert? And I got Sperry, and I got
Right.
Michael James. You know, and you still got
Right.
Tristan hasn't decided where he's going to go, and I mean, I think he's doing the right thing. He's looking at all his options,
yeah.
but I think if Tristan's going to play a defensive back, I think he takes his talents to Alabama, because why not go play for the?
Well,
for
they're not DBU.
LSU.
Anybody
go to LSU.
anybody that plays for Nick Saban goes in the first or second round. They go.
Hey, at the D tackle or
I mean, his defensive backs.
linebacker.
I mean, if you look at his DBs though, if you go to Alabama and
I think I know what one or two.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Patrick.
But
he had
I'm
another
just
corner.
saying though. I mean, that's like I said. I wish Zoe the best. I know we had him on the show. You know, not here to knock him over the head, but I just think that whoever gets him is going to get a great coach. But and he also said some good things too, though, that makes a lot of sense. It's like he didn't have a Coach Rose to mentor him.
He
Didn't have a Coach Huggins or a Coach Evans or somebody. He might have played for, who did he play for? Oliver. You know, he played for Oliver. He didn't have. I mean, not taking down from Oliver, but he didn't have one of the top-notch coaches at Midwest City that we got a chance to go for, because when we played for Midwest City, it was kind of like Carl Albert. You had a Huggins, you had a Coach Evans, you had a Coach V, you had a Coach Epps, you had a Coach Oliver. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all these guys became head coaches. Ron Smith, I think Ron Smith stays at Midwest City. Like they should have hired him. It's a wrap.
Right.
You know, no one's, because one, he's a hell of an offensive mind coach. He took his boys. He won a state championship at Wausau. Then he won one with Deer Creek with both of his sons at quarterback. Then I think both of his boys ended up playing quarterback at Tulsa. So it just tells you kind of offensive mind guy he was. So, you know, I just think that.
Well, it just shows you how the system is. It's a buddy system.
It's a buddy system.
They could care less about the wins and losses.
And you know, and the thing about Coach Smith, I'm gonna give him some love real quick. He drove a yellow Cadillac.
He did drive a yellow Cadillac.
They call him Varsity Ron, but he drove a yellow Cadillac. Real quick though, before we get out of here, it's funny when you was talking to Coach Rob, he talked about sub varsity. I've never heard that to Coach Jones said that, and that must be a Texas thing because he always talk about sub varsity. I'm like, what the hell is a sub? I think he's thinking about Subway or some shit. I got food on my mind. But he talks about sub varsity, and I'm thinking,
yeah, they have like several teams in Texas because how many kids come out?
Well, it's kind of like when we
football.
played Dion.
Yeah,
We had like A, B, and C teams.
yeah,
Depending on how good the competition is, okay, A team come out.
yeah.
The schools aren't big enough in Oklahoma to do that, or else.
Right.
But folks, like I said, we'll transfer out of football, going into more basketball, wrestling.
I don't have nothing about no basketball. Wrestling, yes.
Yeah, we'll let you talk wrestling, and me and Nia take care of basketball. But right now, looking in basketball, Colabr's boys lost 2 games. I know Coach tries to get them going. Colabr's girls on a winning streak. They lost 1 game against El Reno, but
that 5A will be pretty wide open.
5A's open. Midway City girls, I got to give it to Coach Knight over at Midway City. Her girls are they lost a tough game to Norman in the tournament a couple weeks back, but she got them going good. They played Del City the other night and beat the brakes off. But Del City's missing. Coach Webb is missing some girls. I plan on having Coach Webb on the show here in a few weeks. I had picked Del City at the beginning of the year with what they had last year to maybe have a good chance to run it. Looks like Jennifer and El Reno has got the El Reno girls playing good. They got a post game. They got a little young lady, number 5, plays point guard for them that controls the ball really good. Not a very big young lady, but she can shoot. She gets to the bucket, but they got a really good post game. I've got a chance to see some of the other 5A teams. I think Lawton, MacArthur be tough, and that. And 6A, I think 6A is wide open. I think 6A boys, talking to Andre, I think 6A boys is going to be led by Edmond North, won 2 state championships in a row along with the girls. I think they're tough. No telling what you got on the other side of the state. You start going into the 4A, 3A. I think the young man out of Dale that's going to go to Oklahoma, was it Dayton?
Yeah, Dayton Forsyth committed to OU.
Forsyth. I mean, I think that kid is the real deal. He is one of the best players in the state of Oklahoma. Just his work ethic. If you watch the guy train with Nate Logan, I mean, the kid is just outstanding. Jenny Jones, you can see we got her back here with her 3-peat, looking to 4-peat.
Yeah.
I think this year be tough, but I said that before. And Jenny said, "Let me put on my what? Green jacket." And once she put on that green jacket, it's all business. But I really like Jenny. Like I said, I think Carl Albert's high school girls are doing some good thing. I know Coach Richie lost that first game, but to me, opened up against El Reno, a team that's been in the state championship, has played for a couple state championships. That's a tough opening game. But one thing I will say, guys, that I really don't like, I don't like the district play. I still like the non-district games. I think some of those games are tough. Now you're playing more district games, and so in those district games gives you a chance to host a site. So you kind of want to be there. And right now, Carl Albert's boys is kind of behind the Forsyth because they lost to Crossing and they lost to Guthrie. And that's funny because you look at Guthrie, you think Guthrie's a football team, but Guthrie said you might have got us in football, but we got you in basketball. And then Carl Albert got to go to Guthrie, so you know how that is, going to Guthrie and playing basketball could be a tough sight. But like I said, we'll get into that. We'll start having some players on, some coaches on, and moving forward. But like I said, we'll go twice a month, just because basketball is just so much, and then we'll try to get some of the top players on in the state. Wrestling and basketball. I think Edmond North will be the team to beat in wrestling this year. I think Chata, I talked to Eric Sanford last night. Chata's wrestling team is 2-0, so Coach Benny Coleman's still kicking it, man. I mean, he's been there since Jonah was 2, so it just tells you how long he's been there. But he's done a great job with the program, and if anybody can talk about a standard,
he's a Hall of Famer.
It's Benny Coleman, because he's got a couple gold rings and gold. I don't know what they get for winning wrestling plaques or whatever. He got a couple, so he can walk around his chest up in the hallways, and everybody else can look at him because they're wearing silver.
What about the baby Titans?
The baby Titans. We'll come back off the break. We just played Del City the other night. Beat them. What was it?
A lot to little.
54-11. Zoe and Brindley. Zoe had 25. I think Annabelle had 21, and everybody else kind of flexing there. We're getting ready for a tough game. The twins and Zoe, they all played with their AU team this weekend. We played up. We played in the Tops with Toys. We ended up winning that. We played 8th grade division and we beat one team 79-10. Beat another team 40-20. I think the championship game, like I said, it's good because these girls are playing up. I mean, they're all 7th graders, and they're playing against 8th graders. Some of those 8th graders could be 9th graders, and most of all our girls are true 7th graders. I think Riri's still like 11, as a 7th grader, so she's young. But we only had 6 girls, and the girls play lights out. All of them. It's gonna be funny when we play Midwest City in a couple weeks. I'm putting a little video together, a little hype video for both teams. Who's gonna be the king of 15th and post? Since both teams kind of fall off post road, but I put the water towers in. I put Midwest City's water tower in, and put Carl Harbor's water tower in. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
You got a lot
but
of time on your hands.
I do. But I was on vacation though, so I can do those things. But like I said, we always want to tell everybody thanks for watching. Keep it 100. Keep subscribing. Keep following us on Twitter. I always tag Ethan and Jonah. If you ever have any questions, DM him. Jonah's he's got into it, man. They got their cups with their names on it. So if you don't know who they are, hold it up. Let them see who it is. Keep it 100. Jonah and
Who
Big
made these?
E.
Shout out.
Shout out to Shauna. She took care of his man. If
Who's
you guys
Shauna?
need
We
some,
never met Shauna.
Shonda, she does a lot
Shauna or
of
Shonda?
Shonda.
Shonda.
She does a lot. She did Mike Gundy's Cup, Coach Jones Cup. I think she did the Yukon or Mustang Girls softball cups or whatever. But she does a good job with them, man.
Just making cups.
She like making cups. She said I'm gonna be a cup maker. I mean, she has a full-time job, but that's her hobby. But it's good to have you guys have your cups up there, and you guys use those cups, man. That's advertising.
I'm gonna put some coffee in it.
Yeah,
bring
put
it to
some
work,
coffee in, some hot chocolate, cocoa. I mean, it keeps it cold, warm, whatever you need to do. But like I said, folks, we appreciate you. We probably won't see you till next year.
Yeah, next year will probably be the next time we see you guys.
The next couple of weeks is
Lord will.
Lord will. I mean, he's right about that. Lord will. But guys, like, we want everybody. And by the time you see me, I won't be holding the mic. I promise you, I get that taken care of. But we'll see you guys going into 2024. Hope everybody have a Merry Christmas. Get everything that you want. Remember, it's about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Absolutely.
Gifts are great, but at the end of the day, family time is the most important. We're having our Christmas here, and I get to see all my nieces and nephews and watch them, smile and giggle and watch my nephew, man. He's grown to be a young man. He got his little phone in his hand.
You talking about Noah?
Yeah, got his little phone in his hand, listen to his music. So it just, watching him being a young man to be growing up to be a man now, it's really cool. And watching Luca, that bad little sucker, and
He's a bad
my
little
two
sucker.
other little nephews, Cam and Zayden. Boy, I'm telling you, them suckers, man. But shout out to Cam, taking 4th place in this tournament. His wrestling tournament. So
Noah got his first win.
Yeah, he got a win. So we doing good over here at the Johnson's house. Gabe,
Lewis.
like I said, the Johnsons and Lewis, we're doing good. Like I said, just like I said, kiss your babies, hug them, tell them you love them. E, get us out of here.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. See you next year.
God bless you.
Merry
Good night.
Christmas. See ya.
See ya.